This brand new 2025 Cadillac CT5 marks a new chapter in our customer's life. For most of their life, they've owned 3-row SUVs and only ever taken them through the car wash. But now that their kids are out of the house and they have some more time on their hands, they wanted to buy something nice, something that they could actually take care of. And so they purchased this 2025 Cadillac CT5 and came to us asking about ceramic coating. And I asked them, first thing, like I usually ask most of the people interested in a coating, how they plan on maintaining it. They said that they were going to hand wash it. In the past, they've taken it through car washes, but they plan on hand washing this one. They plan on really keeping it until the wheels fall off. And so it told me that this was probably a great customer for doing a ceramic coating. So today we are going to be doing a full decontamination. We're going to be clay barring it, washing it. We're going to be doing a paint correction to remove any light swirling and imperfections that might be in the paint. They have already taken it through the car wash one time. His wife ran it through, so I can already tell that there is some very minor swirling on the car, so we're gonna get all that removed and then put 2 layers of Gtechniq ceramic coating on the vehicle to give it 5 years of protection. We're also gonna be doing the wheels. They're gloss black, so we had talked about it with him, and I think it's gonna make it a lot easier for him to maintain those wheels and just keep them looking a little bit better. So we're gonna go ahead and get this thing tinted. We're gonna be doing a windshield tint on it at 70% before we do the wash. So we're gonna go ahead and start on that.
Before the tint goes on, we're gonna lay down protective tape around the outside of the windshield. This will help to guide our cut and keep the blade from scratching the glass. It's a simple step, but makes a huge difference in the end. After he cuts and shrinks the film, he's gonna move on to the inside for the install. Here we are extremely careful to minimize any contamination between the film and the glass while positioning it perfectly and squeegeeing out every last bubble for a clean, crisp install.
We just finished tinting the windshield, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull this into our wash bay and start prepping it for the ceramic coating. So first thing we do when we start on the prep process is on the wheels. So I'm gonna go ahead and pressure wash this wheel. So I'm just gonna give this wheel a good rinse to start. These are carpeted, so we're not gonna scrub them. We're just gonna pressure wash them out. So we've got an IK pump sprayer here. I'm gonna pump this up. And this has just got a little bit of wheel and tire cleaner in here. And then I'm going to start on the face of the wheel. I'm just gonna be using a microfiber towel here. Since these are gloss black, I really wanna be as careful as I possibly can when cleaning these gloss black wheels. Make sure that I'm not causing any kind of scratches. I'm gonna spray a little bit more into the lug nuts here. And we've got this small little Q-tip brush. And so I'm just gonna kind of work that with inside of the lug nuts here, making sure to work around the lug nuts and then obviously on the face of the wheel, right inside of that area. And then lastly, I'm gonna go ahead and clean the barrel. So I'm gonna spray a little bit more on my wheel brush, my barrel brush here. I'm gonna work this with inside of those spokes. Since we're gonna be ceramic coating these wheels, we wanna make sure that they're completely contaminant free, and so we wanna get them as clean as possible, which is why we're using so many brushes. And then last but not least, I'm just gonna scrub the tire. We have the stiffer brush for cleaning tires with. These tires are pretty clean, so they really don't need scrubbed too bad. We'll go ahead and pressure wash it off. So now that we're finished up with the wheels, we're gonna go ahead and just give everything a good rinse to try to get off the majority of the surface level dirt and any bugs. So one of the things we look for whenever we're doing our initial rinse is if the water is beating off the paint. In this case, it's relatively flat, which tells us that there probably isn't any existing waxes or sealants on it. However, it's still a good precautionary measure to go ahead and polish this anyway, just to ensure that there is nothing on the paint and that the coating bonds like it should. Now you'll notice on the glass, when you pressure wash the glass, the water beads off a little bit more than it does the paint. And so we'll want to go ahead and polish all the glass too before we ceramic coat it, just to ensure that it bonds properly. So we're gonna go ahead and fill up our foam cannon first. We're gonna be using this blue car wash product from Clutch Products. I'm gonna put a little bit in here. And then we're just gonna fill the rest up with water. And now I'm also gonna take just a little bit of the same exact soap and just take a little bit into this bucket and take my pressure washer and foam it up. So for the wash process, we're gonna be using 2 edgeless towels. You'll notice that these don't have any edges on it, and that'll help prevent any kind of scratches from being caused. We've actually learned from experience that the edges on your towels can actually cause scratches on the paint. So I'm gonna take 2 of these, put them in my bucket with my soap in it, and now we're ready to foam the car down. So a foam cannon is just a really good way to ensure that we're getting a ton of soap on the car evenly, and that'll also help prevent any kind of scratches. The more soap that you have on here, the better. I'm gonna make sure to lay my towel in 8s. So I have 8 sides technically, and then I'll use 1 side per panel, but for this hood, I'm only gonna do half of a panel, half of the hood, before I flip it. And you can do the windshield with the same side, because the windshield, the glass isn't gonna scratch like the paint. So if I might have picked up a little bit of dirt in that towel, it's not going to scratch the windshield like it will the paint. And I can flip it. Now that we're done washing it, we're gonna rinse. Rinse top to bottom here. Now we're gonna grab our iron remover. You'll notice that it starts to turn purple, which means that it's removing iron contaminants from the paint. So now that we've let that sit on there for a minute, I'm gonna take a little bit of Optimum No Rinse, which is just a rinseless wash and a clay mitt. And I'm gonna spray a little bit of this on there, and I'm just gonna gently go over the paint with this clay mitt, which is gonna help to exfoliate it and just remove deeper contaminants that the wash process may not have removed. And after every panel, it's a good habit to go ahead and rinse the clay mitt out, just in case you picked up any contaminants that we might not have hit in the wash process, that we'll get those out.
Before we use our drying towels, we're going to blow out all the cracks and crevices with compressed air. Water tends to hide behind these trim pieces, mirrors, emblems, really anywhere it can. If we skip this step, later it can drip out during the polishing or ceramic coating process. And we're not supposed to let water interact with the ceramic coating for at least 12 to 24 hours. So we want to make sure that we get out as much water as possible.
So now that we're all finished washing the car, we did the clay bar and we did the iron remover. We're gonna go ahead and move on to the paint correction. So I've got my cart here with edgeless towels. I've got my polish. I've got some tape where we can tape off any trim. I've got my Rupes polisher, and we always wear headlamps whenever we do polishing. That just helps us to be able to check our work better. So we're gonna go ahead and get started polishing the paint. We're gonna give it a quick inspection before we start, identify any problem spots, and then go from there.
I'm going to throw on the headlamp next so I can catch what the shop lights might miss. Things like swirling, micro scratches, and deeper defects. As bright as these shop lights are, they don't always show the fine scratches and swirls, but our 10,000 lumen headlamps will. This lets us catch all the little imperfections and ensures that we have a flawless finish before applying the ceramic coating. Even on a brand new car, there are going to be light defects. Swirling, marring, or marks from being transported. It's not always about heavy correction, but it's about refining the surface and removing these minor imperfections to give it a true flawless finish and creating a perfectly clean, smooth base for the ceramic coating to bond to. As we move around the car, we're constantly checking our work under the proper lighting to make sure each panel is dialed in before moving on.
So we just polished the piano black here with Meguiar's 205, which is a very light polish. And without a headlamp on it, it looks great. But because we use headlamps, we noticed that there's a slight haze that came up on this panel here. And when the sun hits that, the customer will be able to notice. So we're going to use a different compound. We're going to use 3D1 with the yellow pad, and that'll help to remove that haze.
Light haze on that side there.
So the yellow pad with the 3D1 still causing a little bit of streakiness, so I'm going to switch over to a white pad, which is a little bit softer, and see how this one does. So after trying a few different pads, we finally got it good. So whenever it's under the sunlight now, it's gonna look perfect. So we're all finished doing the paint correction. So I'm gonna grab a brand new edgeless microfiber towel, and we're gonna wipe down the entire vehicle with pure alcohol. This is gonna help to remove any remaining polish compound and just make sure that the surface is 100% ready to be ceramic coated. This is also our last opportunity to just inspect the paint to make sure that there's no scratches or swirls or scuffs that we might have missed.
After all that prep work, we are finally ready to lay down the coating. First, we're going to load the applicator up with a few drops of coating and grab 2 fresh edgeless towels, one for leveling and one for the final wipe. You see some people use 3, even 4 towels during this step. Honestly, the more the better, but we're comfortable with 2. We always split the car in half so we can stay efficient and avoid working over each other. We like to start with the windows since they have the shortest flash time and oftentimes give us the most trouble. This gives us a chance to dial in how the coating is reacting to the environment. Things like humidity and temperature can make a big difference. Once we've got that figured out, it's really just a matter of maintaining rhythm and precision across every panel. With the windows out of the way, we're going to move on to coating the paint. We apply the coating in small, controlled sections, watching for flash time, and then leveling, wiping, and double checking to prevent any high spots. After that, we coat the wheel faces so that they stay protected and much easier to clean. After an hour of applying the first layer of crystal serum light, we're going to follow it up with a layer of XO. This will help to boost gloss, slickness, and long-term durability. No shortcuts here, just taking the time to do it right.
So we're all finished up ceramic coating the car, put 2 coats of it on. We did the wheels, all the trim, all the glass, all the painted surfaces. So we're going to let this cure overnight, and then it'll be ready for the customer to come pick up in the morning. So it's morning, the coating is cured overnight, and this thing looks absolutely amazing. The first thing that the customer will notice when they come pick it up is just how glossy the paint, the wheels, and the glass look. The first thing that they'll notice when they start to wash the vehicle for the first time is how hydrophobic it is. Bugs, bird poop, dirt, it's gonna roll off effortlessly. It'll make cleaning this vehicle a lot easier. I'm gonna make sure to walk him through how to do a rinseless wash on it. If the vehicle is super dirty, then we definitely recommend using a pressure washer to get off all the caked on mud. But in between those deeper cleanings, it's totally fine for him to use just some kind of rinseless wash and a bucket. And so I'm gonna walk him through all that. Proper maintenance is extremely important when it comes to ceramic coating to make sure that it lasts for as long as it's stated to. We do everything on our end to ensure that it was properly installed, but then it's up to the customer to make sure that they're washing it every 2 weeks, that they're bringing it back to us every 6 months for a maintenance wash and a topper. The paint's super glossy, the wheels look amazing, and it's gonna be extremely easy to maintain. First thing that he'll notice as soon as it starts to rain is the water will just bead right off. So